Salute, salute, salute. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. You know what? It's a little too quiet around here. Hold on a second. So, question is how's everyone doing? I know some of you we got to chiz at earlier, kind of a little bit today, over in Patreon, and here we are. I said we were going to be going live a little bit later, and it's a little later than I initially had kind of pinpointed, but I don't know. Sometimes our days just like they get away from us. I don't know. Has that ever happened to anybody? Like just out of nowhere, time, it just like evaporates on you. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing a little research. I've been checking out a few things, and so salute to everybody here. Salute to all the family. Um, you know who you are. I've been noticing there's just a lot of interesting. It's just energy. Let's be clear. The news that hit us yesterday hit us like a nuke. Um, being in limbo right now, trying to figure out, what we're on the brink of, and they do this on purpose. Let's just be very clear. They do this on purpose. They most definitely put us in these positions where we're constantly worried about what's going to happen next. And it's all a part of the distraction. I don't know what's going on, but there seems to just be a lot of distraction happening in the world right now. More than typical, but when you have the kind of catastrophic explosive like exposures that we have going on, the bigger the exposure, the bigger the distraction, right? You haven't caught me in months. Well, you caught me today. And I don't understand why you haven't caught me in months. Like, I don't get you know, the the hatred that and the illusion that when it comes to me, it's just really annoying. Uh, yeah, well, we're in Patreon on Sundays now, and we'll probably be there a little bit more often. I think we're gonna come back to do another reading, because for those of you who have been coming to Patreon on Sunday, this was our second Sunday. Next week will be our third. Salute Canada. Oh, Canada. I miss Canada. I haven't been there in a while, but I promise you this, the next time I go, it will not be over the 9-month span where winter is happening, and it definitely won't be over the 5-month span where there's nothing but snow and ice. I've done that. It's cute. I'm not interested in being cold. I'm too old for it. I need to see Canada in the summertime. Um, it's been a long time since I've seen Canada in the summertime. My dad, when I was a girl, we would go to Niagara Falls, and he we would just take a nice family drive up there and go to the falls. And one of my most favorite Muppets when I was a kid, we got there, and it got lost along the way, along with everything else. I tell you one thing, I had some of the most beautiful mementos in my past, and learning how to just be grateful for your memories and letting things go and not needing things to validate an experience or to validate the reality that it happened. It helps. It helps. Like a lot of people. Oh, salute. Thank you, Doris B. Um, It really does help because the truth is a lot of us are appreciate you wherever you donate. Appreciate you, whether it be via super chat or super sticker or Cash App or even PayPal. Like our donation methods, you can find them on the website, thejaguarwright.com, or, however you choose to. Uh-huh. Oh, listen to me. Yeah, it is worth it. Niagara Falls is, but I can't imagine what it's like right now. And I'm sure with the global changes, it's not the way it was when I was a kid. But, mm. Anywho's then, let me not get too sidetracked. So, hey, family. Um, so yeah, for those of you who do not know, Patreon on Sundays, we've been having some real life discussions, We've been just getting open, getting out there, and talking about some things, talking about some situations, mostly this lawsuit. And for those of you who do not know which lawsuit I am talking about the Funny or Die lawsuit, where Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish were being addressed as defendants, being called out by the victims, Jane Doe and John Doe, who were a brother and sister, 7 years apart. When all of this happened, the sister was 14, the brother was 7, and we've gone through 2 layers, and then we have to finish up the 3rd layer before we just get to having the conversation. And today, what I found really interesting is that a lot of people did not know. A lot of people did not know what was actually really going on. It's actually kind of crazy because I think everybody heard about it, a little bit here, a little bit there. But 5 years later, because this lawsuit hit like 4 or 5 years ago. So, and the mother started going back and forth about it with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears 2018, 2019. So this is right before the pandemic, because you remember the end of 2019, pandemic hit. It started making its way to the United States, and then Kobe Bryant passed away, and then boom, we had the shutdown. So 2020 was when it really kicked in, and for 2 years and change, we were living under these very, very, very weird and tight protocols here in the United States. So this lawsuit happened during then. And when I think about it now, it kind of makes a lot of sense because the lawsuit didn't really hit until the pandemic happened. It didn't get taken down until we were full swing in the demic. And there was a lot of information that was being controlled during that time. So you got to remember, this was also in the midst of George Floyd and what happened to him, and Black Lives Matter, and then Black Lives Matter scandal. Like, there were a lot of things that were happening. You know what I mean? People were obsessed with Exotic, yep, Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on, but whether or not we're paying attention to it or not, information was most definitely being controlled. So I'm starting to see that this situation, it was definitely quarantined. Did we know about it? Yes, we knew about it. You know, we knew more about Tiffany Haddish and Common breaking up than we knew about this lawsuit. And now that we're reviewing it, for those who were there, by the way, just so I can be clear here, I need you guys to just put a 1 in the chat if you were present for the Patreon session. Hello, Tangi. Just put a 1 in the chat if you were present for the Patreon session. Okay. Okay. That's 2 people that were there. As we were discussing while we were there earlier today, and salute to everybody who did make it. For those who aren't here talking with us now, replay gang, some of you might have been there. You guys definitely need to come and check it out, because we can't talk about these things here on YouTube. We can't. If we try to, somebody's going to be hating. The video is going to get hit with this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. We're not even interested. We're not even interested in that. It's okay. If you have a Patreon membership, you can catch the replay. Because the replay, it's only for the members. You know, it's open to everyone who's subscribed, but got to be a member. And certain parts of that conversation might find its way to membership here on YouTube, certain spaces. But if you want to be able to get a gist of the whole conversation, you need to have a Patreon membership. So, anywho's, cool, you'll catch up after this live. Yeah, it's pissing me off as we're going through it, as we're looking through this suit, because I'm telling you right now, there's so much that really, really, really wasn't addressed publicly, and there's so much that was hampered and so much that was controlled. It's kind of cringy. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cringy. It's kind of disgusting. You know, I'm not going to get into too much. I can share a few things. Like I said, it's kind of cringy. Like, what I'm trying to understand is, how are people like this is Aries Spears. Like, this is Aries Spears. And all of this was a part of the video, and the video was up online for like 7 years. Well, I'll see what's going on, but you should be able, if you have a membership, you should be able to see the video, but I'll have to double check with the producer and make sure that it's available. Like this is Aries Spears. Well, I think part of the reason why it was missed during the pandemic was because information was really, really, really being controlled during the pandemic. It was. Spent a lot of time focusing on that breakup, and we did not see this image. Because this is Tiffany Haddish with the young victim, even though she lied to me, told me she wasn't there. You know? There goes your answer. They'll be available tonight. I mean, we saw all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on Jason Lee's involvement, because Jason Lee, I believe, at one point in time had gone after the mother. And then the next thing you know, they were ready to settle. So it's, I don't know, it's giving. There's a lot of intimidation. That's what it's giving. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but that's what it's given. Because as we went through the lawsuit, one of the things that is said at the top is they wanted a jury trial, and they should have had a jury trial. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, how did we miss this? But more importantly, how did they make sure that we missed it? And was it because they were going to find their way to, you know, put the clamp down on this whole conversation? Was that the game? They was going to put the clamp down on so that they could whitewash it and people could just come back like nothing ever happened, because that's what it's looking like. Because this is recent. This image of him on the screen, this is him sitting with Vladimir Lyuski doing interview after interview after interview, which is being cut up and clipped up and being pushed around, and other people are sharing it. Other content creators are sharing it. Like, how does a guy like this, who did what he did to these kids, get 4.3K likes, 1,100 comments? I mean, and part of the reason why, you know, like, I kind of flip back here is because, see, this was what set me off. And I'm like, you know what? We're not waiting on this anymore. We're going to get back into this, because this is kind of insane. I'm sitting on IG watching their campaign against Corey Holcomb and a bunch of inappropriate things that he said. And meanwhile, this guy is in the comments. And as you see, he's sitting here. If reaping what you sow were a person, laughing. Meanwhile, they're going in on Corey. Oh, he's a PDF, or he's a this. Did you hear what he said about that child? Did you hear what he said about that child? Whoop-de-woo, yada, yada, yada. But this is the same guy who had a whole video. This chick got a whole new TV show after she was complaining about how broke she was. Like, this guy got a kid rubbing baby oil on him. And meanwhile, he's being supported. Like it's just kind of crazy, in my opinion. It's just really crazy to me. How? Oh yeah, yeah. He's very cool with Vlad. Very, very, very cool with Vlad. In our Patreon live, we reviewed, a recent interview that he did right before a bulk of the really nasty work of the Epstein files came out. Right? And he was sitting there talking about how he would have went to Epstein Island if only he had gotten an invitation. Well, of course you would have, considering who you are. So you have an actual PDF. If you're a member, you'll be able to catch the replay. It'll be available later on tonight. I'm just, I got a lot of issue with the selective nature and outrage that we're having, because I'm just not getting it. Everyone is going after Corey Holcomb, and meanwhile, Ari Spears is just sitting on YouTube. Channel still there almost, and it's wild because I went and I checked his channels and his subscribership, and he has almost the same amount of subscribers as Corey Holcomb. Now, he had his subscribers before Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb's channel is coming up to where it is, but they're attacking his platform and they're not attacking Ari Spears. It's kind of wild. Like, it's just kind of wild. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna drop the link just in case anybody wants to come and have, an open forum discussion regarding all of this. But like, there's just certain details that are in the case that are bothering me, like the use of baby oil. That's kind of weird. Just the fact that one of Diddy's lawyers who was representing Tiffany Haddish in the lawsuit, that kind of bothers me. But just some of the things that happened, like the way the mother was lied to, the way they played in her face. Like, it's just, like I said, you got to go and you got to see it for yourself. But no matter what anyone says and no matter how anyone plays, I'm just trying to figure out, how do we ignore all of this? Like, this is real. This is an excerpt from the lawsuit. This is an actual lawsuit. Settlement was made, so it was dismissed, and then boom, everybody goes back to work like it's no big deal. And I don't get it. I don't understand what kind of world we live in where it's just possible for people to get away with these things over and over and over and over and over again. Like, I don't know how that happens. Like, how does that happen? How does that work? Where, and And in this day and age, like we have the Epstein files out here. Like there's so much that's just being overlooked. There's just so much that's just totally being I don't know. Like I'm pissed. I'm pissed because these people are just online, like it's no big deal, making videos, talking stuff, doing whatever. Like it's just like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Like it's just so hold on a second. I am gonna take this link. 1 second. Drop this link here. And anybody who'd like to join, please feel free. I mean, see, this is the thing when it comes to the parents. Can't blame it on the mom. I don't know if the father or where the father was involved in all of this. It's appearing as though she was a single mom. But if you, when you go and you review, like we go over the part of the lawsuit where the mother was trying to figure out what was happening to the child, what had happened to the child. Not to get too much in detail about what happened because, like I said, I don't want to kill the video for everybody else, but the mom called the next day. The children were dropped off. Apparently, they threw money at them. I know in one instance, they gave the girl the $100 bills, $100 bill for, her traumatizing situation with the sandwich. But when they were dropped off, because they were supposed to be doing a Nickelodeon skit, when Tiffany dropped them off, the mom dropped them off at Aries Spears' house for what was supposed to be a sizzle reel shoot. They didn't tell her anything. She didn't know what was going on. And then she dropped the kids off and gave them some money. I guess apparently the boy was very disturbed after because the mom called the next day and was just like, she called Tiffany and said, "Hey, what did you guys film that made him cry? Like, why was my child crying?" And she continued to keep reaching out. Tiffany took it and pushed it off to Aries Spears. Aries Spears said, "Oh, I'm editing, whatever the case may be." And like I said, you can get into all the details because we're reading these documents page for page, going through everything, making sure that every detail is understood. So right now, where we are in reading the documents is the emotional damage that it did to them. But no, the mom, she was trying to figure it out and she was lied to on so many different levels. So I mean, yeah, the mother was good friends with Tiffany, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. Some people just want to make it, and they're willing to use anyone that they have to make it. Because Tiffany targeted these children. Make you no mistake about that. The further that we go into these documents, what is very, 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 very clear. And it's wild because, like, even in the lawsuit, the lawyer had made mention that Tiffany was using Ghislaine Maxwell G-rooming practices. Like, she continued to stay in touch with the kids. She continued to call them during holidays, calling them from movie sets, trying to make them feel this way and that way, like making them feel special. And it's wild because for the older girl to say that what triggered her emotional response to what had happened and to what they put her through. Um, when she saw the movie Girls Trip, and something that Tiffany did in the movie was what she had instructed the girl to do. She said that that was the thing that there should have been a trial. They wanted a trial, but a lot of stuff got tied up in litigation. A good share of this was happening during the pandemic. And then the next thing you know, coming out of that, Tiffany Haddish had the mother. She was trying to get a sealed, quiet arbitration. The lawyer, Sean Holly, who seems to love representing really, really, really flawed and screwed up people. I'm sure this family was like railroaded, like in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned. They allowed him to have a career after being but here we type or say one word and they want to hang up. Oh, I know, Marina. I know. And so that's why we're going over these documents on Patreon, where we have the room and the freedom to speak freely. Salute to one of our gals that came through today. I would say her name, but I'm not going to, just in case there's some weirdos that want to go and stalk our people. But you know who you are, and thank you for stopping by. Really great conversation, and we're going to just keep staying in this conversation, because the next conversation that we're going to be having on Patreon next Sunday is going to be about what do we do? Do we just sit here and say, okay, this is what happened, and now everybody's going back to normal, and people got paid, and there's non-disclosure agreements, whatever the case may be, but everybody knows that an NDA means absolutely nothing when it comes to what? A criminal action. And what we're reading is totally criminal. So we're going to be having, what's going on, LP? Hey. So we're going to be figuring that thing out, because I think we need to push it, because there's no way that this guy on the screen should still be doing interviews. There's no way that this guy should still be earning money the way he's earning money. There's no way that this guy, nope. And not just him, but everybody included, including David Spates. And today, as we were reading, we got to get like a more in-depth look at how involved David Spates was. It's just insane. It really is. It's insane. Because when you think of a grown adult man that's operating a camera, And he's filming, right? Oh, wow. He did? He was playing those kind of games with you, LP? Hmm. I don't know. Do you have this picture? He's making fun. This guy. He making fun of who? Smoking a square with a 7-year-old boy rubbing him down with baby oil. He's making fun of who? I'm curious. They just let. And what I've come to realize is they let who they want to operate. Because see, right now we have a bunch of content creators on multiple platforms going after Corey Holcombs for all of the terrible things that he had to say about kids and this, that, and the third. There's this Yama whatever person going out of her way to try to make a career out of destroying him, talking about this and talking about that and talking about this and talking about that. But I just need to ask the Yama person who sits over there with Godfrey in Godfrey Land. Godfrey's cool with Aries Spears. See, that's the thing that's tripping me out. A lot of these people that are going after Corey Holcomb right now, who isn't a part of their in crowd, like they're the main ones running down, like they're cool. But this guy, like that's the thing I'm not understanding. Like this Yama person in on Corey Holcomb. I mean, she's going in on Corey Holcomb like you would not believe she's going in on him. She's going in on him like, I mean, like her life is dependent on it. She's going in on him. She is doing everything that she can do to try to destroy his character, to destroy his name. She's going in on it. Like she's going in on everything but his mama. And I'm like, but you said with Godfrey, and Godfrey is cool with this guy. So clearly you don't have an issue with predators. Because your people that got you going after Corey Holcomb, like he's cool with this predator guy. It's just, listen to me. I wish we could do a citizen's arrest. I truly do. I wish we could. I just don't. Yeah. They got different rules, man. They got different rules. They really do. They have different rules. They have rules that apply to some, but not all. They have rules that only apply to this and to that and it's just like, now see, I dropped this link. You know what? Let me drop this link again, because if anybody would like to, like for real, they really do tell on themselves. Because like you can't hate one person who you say is a predator while you cool with the one who actually is. Like we got evidence of what he's done with children. It's kind of insane. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to pin the link in the chat. So there we go. For anybody who might want to pop up, please do feel free to come through. And we're running in dual format, so we're vertical and horizontal right now. So we have some people over on one channel and we have some people over on another. It gets a little confusing sometimes when they do it this way, but there it is. So all right, yeah, we're pinned in both chats. So if anybody would like to come up, like LP, if you would like to come up, please feel free. Haven't talked to you in a while. But yeah, and please guys, don't forget to keep hitting that like. Like it doesn't matter which one you are, where you are, please keep hitting that like. But yeah, this is kind of just like the after conversation to our live in Patreon earlier today. And I'm sharing some of the details because I'm hoping that more people will come over on Sundays to have these conversations with us where we can really, really, really get down to brass tacks. Cool. So it's like I don't get it. I don't get it. And I mean, like, I've been checking the algorithm. I've been looking at the progress that has been being made for getting this weirdo Aries Spears back into the algorithm and people promoting. And what I'm coming to find out is as I'm going through and checking, people don't know. They really don't know. Either it was a rumor or they didn't know what happened, or it all went away, or it wasn't this, it wasn't that. Like a lot of people don't know how bad this was, which goes to show you that the legal that was working this whole situation, they were working this situation because it got it to the point where our public pretty much has forgotten what these people did to these kids. And the part that bothers me more than anything is the role that Tiffany Haddish played in it. And see, it's crazy because my biggest issue was that I knew that Aries Spears and David Spates were involved. And just in case y'all don't know who David Spates is, this is wild, the video that came up after. Protecting PDF for predators. Yeah, that came up right after a Vlad video. Right there in the algorithm. Isn't it insane? Yo, the stuff that these people get away with, it is nuts. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, let's pull this up because I want to make sure that everybody is acknowledged. And what you'll come to find out is that all of these people are on YouTube. Like all of them. So let's get over here. We're gonna do a little work. See, today is what we're gonna do. We're gonna share a little screen. We're just gonna do a little we'll check it. Little neighborhood watch. Now this guy has channels. He has one that only has 6 subscribers. I don't know. And then he has this other one here where he has 180,000 subscribers. Same picture. I don't understand why. But hey, he do. Hold on a second. Let me get back over here because I still got this picture up that I need to take down. This guy just hogging up the whole screen. Here we go. So I'm not going to be playing anything because I'm not putting myself in position to be struck or anything like that. We're not going to do any of that. But as you see, this guy, he's got all of these, you know, sketch comedy, whatever the case may be. It all looks like it's relatively have fun working with some old friends, just plain fun. You know, this guy is, and it's wild because he's the guy that actually, and he don't have a lot of views on his stuff either. 500 here, 800 there, 600 here on some videos. Doesn't even look like he's posted in a little while. Actually, it looked like he stopped around the same time they got popped for that Funny or Die video. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You know? So we got these people that are operating here in plain sight. And he filmed this stuff. I mean, like if you guys, when you go and see, you'll see it when you go to Patreon and see the video. I mean, like he was doing close-ups on children's private areas, like, and he filmed this stuff and he edited it. He filmed it and he edited it. And to me, that makes him just as sick as the person who wrote and put it all together. As Aries Spears. And then, you know, we have the Tiffany Haddish component. When I think about when I first stepped to her and was like, I want to talk to you about this lawsuit. I want to talk to you about these kids. Like, I want to know what's going on. And why are you the only person that's being hit up for it? Because let's just be real. The person who caught the worst press of all when it came to this whole situation was Tiffany. It was the Black woman. They let the Black men skate by. David Spates practically did not get addressed at all. Aries Spears kind of got grazed with it, but they went in on her. And that's why I wanted to talk to her. And it was funny because she wanted to go after them, is what she told me. She wanted to confer, and we were going to sit down on the blue couch and have that conversation, because I told her I thought that the world needed to hear her side of the story, because she literally sat there and told me that she just dropped the kids off. She wasn't present for anything that happened. She didn't know anything that was going on. They told her one script when it was actually another. And like when I get to the line in the lawsuit where the mother said to her, yo, how could you let this happen to my kids? And she was like, it's only dark. It was just dark comedy. Like she literally like she said that it's just dark comedy. And that's funny because that's the way that, you know, they're referring to the things that Corey Holcomb is saying, but everybody's running down on Corey Holcomb and nobody's dealing with this situation. And it doesn't seem like anybody knows any of the details. Like, I wish I could put together a sizzle reel of what they snatched down offline. Because, see, they snatched it down offline. So, like, you don't see the images of the stuff that they got going on and the stuff that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing the images. Okay, we got somebody here in the back. Could you do me a favor? I don't know you. I haven't seen you before. So would you mind camming up? You don't have to cam up when you get on the screen, but if you could cam up right now for me, that would be great. Okay. Perfect. You can cam down now. Welcome Benny to the stage. Hey, Benny, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so good to be on here. First of all, I want to thank you for all the work that you've done, your sacrifice with everything. Putting the word in as far as before everyone else and doing it so bravely. You and Odell, I appreciate you. I really do.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. It's not easy. And it is a lot of sacrifice and we take a lot of hits. But the acknowledgement, it means a lot. So I don't know exactly where you are in our conversation or when you came through. What do you feel about this whole situation with like the Funny or Die? Because that's what we're talking about. We're revisiting the Funny or Die case 5 years after the video was snatched off of the internet, and now the lawsuit has been successfully quieted away and dismissed with no criminal charges.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I wanted to kind of mostly like the Corey Holcomb situation.
Yeah,
I can kind of comment on that.
Well, yeah, I'd like to know how you feel about that.
So here's the thing people don't understand about Corey Holcomb. He's a hardcore comedian, and when you see him live, right, he makes Andrew Dice Clay look like Carrot Top.
Yeah, Andrew
you
Dice
understand?
Was a hard one, yo. Andrew Dice Clay used to stay so off the wall.
Him
and Rodney Dangerfield.
Right. So if you kind of understand, like, because me and you basically like the same age, so we grew up in that era. We understand the level of comedians, right? And I remember Corey Holcomb. Me and my buddies, when we were younger, we used to go to a comedy club called Riddles, and we used to see him. We saw him before, he got famous, and D-Ray, a couple of more people.
D-Ray.
And it's a certain culture with the comedy club, But when you're in the comedy club, you get to be like more hardcore.
Right.
Like Corey, and then so what you were saying, like when I saw those clips, right, the clips that all of a sudden just pop up out of the clear blue sky that's been around for years, you know what I'm talking
Everything
about.
That's been around for years. They've literally gone through damn near all 16 years that he's been online, and they have went clip for clip, finding the grimiest things that they possibly can. They have like 6-7 different compilations that they put together.
Right.
I'm like, after all of this time?
Right. And then, like, if you don't know and understand, like, Corey Holcomb, like, his humor and how he'll talk, like, that's part of his comedic swag. He talks real serious about controversial stuff.
Right.
Like one of the things he used to talk about, is like going on a date with a female with money and robbing her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's one thing. He'll be like real serious about it. It's like his swag. And he even say like other things. He'll say, I don't want to mess up your channel, but he'll say like the punchline is, they was talking about sex with animals or something like that, and he was saying, I'll eat a gyro and do a goat, something like that. That was the punchline. Right. And he'll say it real serious. That's his comedic style. But if you don't understand that,
you want to. But before you go on, I just want to just slide something in there. Now you're sitting there and you just told us an old joke that he did, talking about dating a woman with money and then robbing the woman or whatever the case may be. Now they'll take that. All of these people that have this campaign against them, they'll take that and they'll run with that. Meanwhile, Cardi B has voice clip after voice clip after voice clip talking about how she actually took people from the strip club that she used to work with, induced them with pharmaceuticals, and actually robbed them, and brags about it and says that she'll do it again. Now he's telling a joke
and violate.
Oh yeah,
he's violate. Yeah, I remember that.
He's telling a joke again, how she would violate them and do essay stuff to them, and she on stage right now dressed like half a robot, rubbing one out in front of her audience, calling it a guitar solo, like. And they ain't got no smoke for her.
No. But this whole thing shows me you have to hear contact with everything nowadays. Everything. Because from this situation, you see what I'm saying? From this situation, like I understand, because I experienced it. But you have to hear context in everything because, even the person that you don't like or that controversial, you still... If you're a person of truth, you got to hear context. You can't just go by what everybody's saying. And he said this and that, and there's no way, absolutely no way he should be saying this, and he can get away with saying. You know what I'm saying? Context is always important.
Context is everything. Listen to me. I was just listening to a guy who was playing a clip, and he made sure to cut it off at a specific time because Corey was saying something about underage girls and childbearing and this, that, or whatever the case may be. And as he was talking, the next thing he was about to say, because I actually heard the full clip, he was like, I'm not interested in anyone that age. I wouldn't be messing with any young girls this age or whatever. That's not what I personally would do. But they cut it off before it got to that point. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're making it obvious. You want to push this narrative. You want to make sure he sounds like how he sounds like. And I'm seeing the same thing with the Yamaka girl, woman. You know who I'm talking about, that sits with Godfrey, and she's been just like going in really heavy. And I'm just like, but where was all of that smoke for Aries Spears, who sits with Godfrey?
Right. And so him and Godfrey, because Godfrey from Chicago too. And they had beef, they fell out some years ago. I don't know how long, I forget when, but it's I don't know. Godfrey, he's a little bit, but here's the thing. Now I don't know, I guess I could talk about this with you, right? So
Sure.
Here's the thing with Godfrey. That, he's friends with George, what's his name? The other comedian, the old guy, George, his first name is George. George, he always say, I be thinking.
I think I know
can't
who you're
remember.
talking about, but I can't pull the name either. But I think I remember who you're talking about.
What's his name, the comedian? Okay, but it'll pop in. But anyway, so I saw a video with him, right? With him, and he had on he's an older comedian. Now he's supposed to be Jerry Seinfeld best friend. He's supposed to
Right.
be the real George.
Okay.
And right. And then um so that was just kind of funny, right? So I'm like, wow, so with the whole Seinfeld thing, they had um I forget these people's names, I'm sorry, but the guy who they always said that was supposed to be the George, right?
Right.
The guy with the glasses, with him.
Oh,
But
you're talking
anyway,
about. You're not talking about. I think I know who
the
you're talking about.
enthusiasm. Yeah,
Oh,
the show
you're
and
you're
the
talking about Larry
Victoria
David. You're talking
enthusiasm.
about Larry David.
Right. Now he was supposed to be the George, but it was actually you know, the older black guy George.
Right.
So I remember I saw a clip of wasn't that Dick Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying him, and I tried to find it on YouTube. He said that him and Seinfeld were lovers for a long time. They was living together.
Ah. Okay.
And I was like, word. And then so when he had him on there and said that was the real George, and I was like, all that just connect together for me,
Gotcha.
It don't take much to connect the dots. So I was like, wow, because they both had money. Like, why would two men be living together? Comedians,
Well,
living together who ain't broke or struggling and
I
for
could tell you.
years. You feel me?
I could tell you about a couple of rappers that I know who live together. I can tell you about a rapper who I know lived with a guy who was in the NBA. I could tell you about a couple of
I
people.
already
You
know.
know what I mean? So I hear you. People do what they do.
Right, but that whole thing, so I already kind of had the feeling the thing with Godfrey. Godfrey is, and if he is on that, he's with the alphabet soup people, But Godfrey, he talk about a lot of good things.
Ah,
Yeah. But he
that
talk
makes
about some
sense.
good stuff as far as respecting black history and stuff, but it's just he just, with that whole thing. That's why, he was with George. What's his name? God, that's crazy. That's gonna bother me all night now.
Is it Constanza? Is that the name you're looking for?
No, the black guy,
Oh,
George, not Carl, not Carl. No, it ain't Carl. George, I forget, but he's
don't
the
kill
he's the
yourself over
old
it. It'll come to
comedian
you.
who always said, "I be thinking." He's been
I
around for a
rem-
while.
I do think I remember who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name either. No, but
Okay.
I was just curious, to get to hear your point of view, because there's a lot of people that are talking, but my thing is this: are the things that you know they're saying about Corey, and are they terrible? Absolutely. Are the clips that they're putting together absolutely terrible, terrible, terrible? Nobody can take anything away from that. The question is why is it he's the one getting the smoke and nobody? Hold on, somebody said, is it George Wallace?
Yes, George Wallace. Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
I knew somebody in our crowd would
He's
be able
the
to pull it up.
original George. He's the original
Got it.
George in Seinfeld with the friend.
Got it.
Yeah.
But it's just we have all of this selective outrage. We have all of this, and meanwhile, we have people who we have evidence that have actually done real harm to people. You know what I mean? It's one thing to speculate about somebody. It's another thing to know that somebody is doing certain things or someone's behaving certain ways, and we're totally not acknowledging it. And that's why I was like,
Yeah. Right.
when I
I
saw
don't know. You experienced
yeah,
this, and then
yeah.
people gaslighting you all day. That's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It,
And
it, it's
that's why
just. I know it gets rough.
it can,
Mm.
because the truth is there comes a point in time when you see that people are really, really, really trying to mess with yourself, your self-awareness, your
Mhm.
mental. A lot of the stuff that they do, it's to try to drive you crazy
Right, right,
and to
right.
try to
But
make you feel like you're nuts and you don't know what you're talking about. And meanwhile, you have people out here doing real harm, creating real issues, doing really terrible things in the world, and none of it is being addressed. So for me, like, I just stay focused. That's why in the midst of all of this, like,
yeah,
I'm watching how, we've got the stuff that happened in Iran, the stuff that's happening right now. You want to know what all of this is doing? It's keeping people from acknowledging what's actually going on with all of the things that our country is ignoring. I mean,
right.
for crying out
Yeah,
loud, the
yeah,
Clintons sitting there pretending like they
yep.
don't know Jeffrey Epstein. Is it dementia?
Right, right, right.
Is it
Yes,
dementia?
I hear you. Right,
Like, and now here we are. We have all of this stuff, and that's what we try to do on our channels. We just try to make sure that everyone is paying attention to how hard they work to make us forget. Because I'm funny situation with that child pedo video, with what Ari Spears and David Spates and Tiffany Haddish did to those two kids. It's like nobody remembers that it happened.
right.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yes,
All of that got swept under the rug. The lawsuit's gone. She's back on Peacock with a TV show. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, exactly. Little fires everywhere, Yamjay. I'm sitting there like I was trying to talk to her to get to the bottom of why she was the only one who bared the brunt of the whole situation, why they let the two dudes roll out. And come to find out, she was lying to me straight to my face the whole time. Not that I should be surprised. I mean, she's an actress. That's what actors do. They lie professionally. But
right.
it's just like, so I see why she wanted to get close to me and she wanted to kind of try to find a way to derail me because I was going to mess up her hustle playing back the television. See?
Wow.
And now here we are. And now we see the effects of it. Can't nobody argue about it because I got the documents, I got the lawsuit. That woman took those children there, encouraged those children, saw those children breaking down, crying, the whole 9 yards, and she bullied those kids into being a part of all of that craziness. Those kids are messed up. They are messed up still. Like the young man, he just became legal. The sister, she's 7 years older than him. She's in her 20s. Like, they got all kinds of trust issues with people. They don't like being around cameras. They don't trust friends. Like, they're messed up
Oh,
for
that's
a really,
bad.
really long time. Really, really, really long time. And all of this, so that, and they swept all of this under the rug. And I'm just like, so now we want to go running after this person and running after that person. And you're terrible. And you did this. And you did that. And you did this. And meanwhile, Ari Spears is back online like it ain't nothing. His videos, he's doing interviews with Vlad.
Back on Vlad.
Yeah. Yeah.
They love Vlad. God, they love good old Vlad, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. Because the only people that could possibly feel safe with him, in my opinion, are people that are informing.
Right. Birds of the feather. You could
And not,
always tell for who people vouch for, who they hang out, who they talk about, who they don't talk about. You have to see it like that. A lot of people don't. They just see what the narrative want them to see, you know?
Meanwhile, Vlad is doing viral posts on X, totally disparaging the possible innocence of Tory Lanez, while Tory Lanez is filing for an appeal and the appeal just got kicked out. Like nobody,
What? Again?
Exactly.
Wow.
Nobody talked about that. They were sitting there talking about the
What?
files, and they were sitting there talking about how, oh, well, you should have known it was satire. He's not going against Jay-Z. But they're sitting there swaying public opinion while these judges are trying to figure out whether or not they're going to give him a new trial. And right, nobody believed it because it was all satire. So why should they put their seats on the line?
Wow. That's wild.
Think about that.
Oh,
If
because what? Because he wanted to make some extra money. He didn't want to. Why did he? I don't understand the whole thing. Now I don't know. Look, I don't know nothing. Look, I'm with hip hop. I'm shell shocked. I'm sorry.
I can
I'm
understand.
shell shocked. I'm. No, no shade to. I mean, the good people. You know what I'm saying. But I'm shell
Mhm.
shocked. I'm kind of like denouncing hip hop. Like
We should,
I'm like, and
as a whole,
I'm. It's bad. It's like I want to just fuck nostalgia.
pretty much. Well, I mean,
It's crazy.
what does nostalgia mean if we can't even get the history right? I just saw
Right.
a clip
Yeah.
on X the other day saying that Jay-Z was the first rapper that was a billionaire, and I'm like, no, he's not. Kanye was.
Right.
Kanye
Right.
was a billionaire before Jay-Z.
Right. Right.
And people they just ride with it. So it's like, why should we care about nostalgia if we can't get history right? You want to know what else people ain't really paying attention to or giving any credence to? What today is. Today is a very interesting day. Do you know what today is?
Wow. March 1st. No. No. I sure
Hap-
don't.
This is the anniversary of something that happened in recent history, and nobody's talking about it. And it's probably going to be one of the last things that I discuss today. But it kind of flips me out that nobody. Hmm, today is the anniversary of Angie Stone's passing.
What? Now I was just thinking about her today. So that is interesting.
It's the anniversary.
Wow.
It truly is. This time
It's
last
been 1 year. It's been 1 year or two.
it's
I can't
1
even
year.
tell. It's been one
Exactly.
year. 1 year.
Exactly.
Wow. Things happening so fast.
That's the card that they tried to tell people if you look at the screen. That's the card that they tried to convince people she passed away in.
Yeah, that's one story. Look, if you with all the people, the so-called, well, this is before the Epstein stuff. People understand
Mhm.
a little bit more what's going on now, where they beginning to. But with that whole story, that was just like you like, come on now. Anybody with any logic, first they said, it was 8 people in the car, and how did
Only
she
one
was the
person
only one
passed
that
away.
died. And then they
Exactly.
said she didn't die, that she got out. She died when she got out of the car. And then
Or
the other
someone
footage
spoke
and
to
all
her.
that stuff. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I
That's
God
just
bless.
sad how they could just get it. How, I don't know. I guess people, the whole thing, I feel sorry for people with this whole, with these files, because a lot of people are going to be very depressed. A lot of people a lot of therapists are going to get their money when it comes to this. A lot of people are going to be down, and because it's revolutionary for them to see the world this way. Me, I've been knowing about this stuff for years. So it's not new to me. But I feel sorry for a lot of people because this stuff can get you down and make you very depressed, and
It could.
you know, yeah.
Could. It could.
Oh,
But for me, I try to make sure that people don't forget, because it's the forgetting where we keep making the same mistake of letting the same thing happen over and over and over again. When I think about Angie Stone's passing, you know what else it reminds me of? Someone else who I knew, Tina Marie. Now they're
Oh
finally
yeah.
biopics of her, but they never got to the bottom of what happened to her.
Wow. I didn't know. I see. That's the one I didn't really know about too much with her.
Yeah, there was an incident. Refrigerator got thrown on her. She was terribly brutalized. I mean, they still haven't gotten to the bottom of Whitney Houston.
Right. Right. And now, and it's funny now because the the main one they're looking at right now is Kurt Cobain's death.
Yeah, I know.
They said-
And
yeah,
they're not going to
and
reopen. They're not going to reopen the investigation, even though there is plausible evidence that it was foul play and that he didn't do that to himself.
right, yeah, and the thing about it on the other side, it's not just him. It's Chris Cornell,
I know.
Anthony Bourdain,
I know. When
Chester
you
Bennington.
when you look at the list of lost with no real explanation, it's insane. So I can
Yeah,
understand why a lot of people want me to shut up, and I can understand why a lot of people want me moved around. But as long as God puts air in my lungs, and as long as I'm free to speak and I have the ability to do so, I'm just going to keep doing that.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, we definitely love hearing your perspective. You always try to be completely honest, and your perspective. You don't try to come with no spin and narrative,
No.
and you come with smarts. You always come with okay. You come with logic and reasoning.
Well, thank you, Benny.
And we definitely that's what I appreciate with you. And it's funny because a lot of these men and this entertainment world, I know you get tired. I know like you want somebody to kind of take over a little bit sometime when they can. I know you get tired of just like you gotta
It
bring
would be
up all
great.
all everything. I know.
It would be great. Somebody else would, but unfortunately, most of them are just too afraid or are just afraid of being broke.
Yeah, everybody think they can dance with the devil and get away
And
with it. They
until
think,
he starts stepping on your toes,
yeah,
and that day will
and
come.
yeah. All right, Jack. Hey, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an honor.
Oh, thank you
Hey,
for stopping
God
by.
bless you. Hey, yeah, may your ancestors protect you, you and Odell, and
Ashe.
Ashe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you
All
so
right,
much, Benny.
thank you. All right.
Salute to the brother that stopped by. Oh, Bill McLean. How are you? I hear you, bro. Y'all have to forgive me. I'll be busy. And sometimes I'll be busy just minding my business too. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the backdrop that I don't really talk about. But I just wanted to stop through and just have a chat with you guys today uh, regarding what part 2 of the revisiting of the Funny or Die video lawsuit is bringing up and bringing about. And just, I hear you, Bill. Mine's isn't. But I hear you. Um, I'm just watching. I'm watching the internet do what the internet does. I'm looking at how the internet is maneuvering, how it's pivoting, what it's creating. And yeah, we in this fight. We in this fight. And since people are so concerned and so worried about predators and taking predators down, then we're going to get focused on people that we actually know are predators. Because the one thing that I know for sure, without a doubt, is that this guy is no bueno. He's absolutely no bueno. He should not be on the internet. He should not be operating. And people shouldn't be supporting him. That I do know. He shouldn't be getting thousands of likes and thousands of positive comments supporting him. That shouldn't be happening. And after everything that I read that Tiffany Haddish did in that lawsuit, she should still be struggling like she was complaining about when I met her. She should still be, because I offered her the opportunity to not only address the situation, but to go after these predatory men that left her out there to make her look like a monster. And instead, it seems like all she wanted to do was protect that situation so that she could get another television show. So, salute to LP, salute to all of our moderators that were able to stop through today. I think we only saw Michael came through. Oh, hold on a second. Before we go, got the man in the back. What's going on, LP?
What up, Jack?
What it do, kiddo?
Chilling like a villain. Yeah. Soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh, sheesh. Ari Spears. Yeah, he's a goofball. Like, I used to like his comedy work. You know, I'm like, yeah, he just been a goofball. Speaking of the Funny or Die video, yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
Have you gotten acquainted with everything that happened to those kids?
No, I didn't. I knew that there was a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes because I saw the clip before when I was a kid, and at the time, like I didn't think nothing of it, but then watching it back now as an adult, I'm like, oh no, hell no, that he gotta go. And plus, it's funny because I had this song called "Feminine Trait." And I was basically talking about rappers, right? I was talking about the Lupe Fiasco situation, talking about jacking off in a sock, jacking off into a sock and shit like that. I was like, that shit was weird. So I actually made a video about that. So what feminine trait is basically like a disease, right? I treat it as a disease. Like if you do some fuck shit on social media or say some weird shit or dumb some weird shit, you got FT. You got feminine trait. So I call it FT. So when I did that and I did academics because he's been a goofball. I've never liked him. I did yeah. So I did also I did I did Ari Spears and I was gonna try to send it to you because it was just hilarious that you were talking about him. And it's just a lot of shit like from when he got knocked out by what's his name?
Zoe
Williams, yeah. So that right there, then
which is wild because he got knocked out by Zoe Williams on the Corey Holcomb 5150 show.
Yeah, that what a coincidence. Yeah,
and now all these years later, they got the big P that they hanging on Corey Holcomb, and meanwhile nobody's acknowledging that this dude should not be back online.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what is he doing on Vlad, showing up eyelashes and shit. That's why I made the video of feminine trait. Like,
what you like? No, but my thing is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy is insane.
Insane as a mug.
Because if they really, really, really got that much smoke for Corey, it should be everywhere.
Yeah, what was this
for
energy at
everyone.
when it was all coming about? Like, what was this
Where
energy at?
exactly? Where was this energy for Aries Spears and David Spates ever?
Right. And it's crazy because I
They
know
just went after Tiffany hard.
I
Oh,
was
they
just
went
gonna
after
say that, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because like I know Tiffany Haddish personally, and I just kind of feel like, damn, that I don't even know what to say at this point because I actually know her personally and through my cousin Cerise, but it's like,
I met her. We hung out a
man,
couple of
it's
times, and guess what?
yeah, uh-huh,
She left me with one opinion and one opinion only.
yeah,
She was doing everything that she could do to sideline me.
that's yeah,
And
that's
then to find out that she has the same lawyer that Diddy has, and that's who represented her.
I just found that out too. That's wow.
And this lawyer, apparently, she's really good at fixing problems for bad people in Hollywood. Like,
Yeah.
gee, they stripped those kids. They stripped that little boy. They stripped him.
Yeah.
David Spates had a camera zooming in on this kid's crotch.
Yeah.
Aries had the little boy rubbing him down with baby oil, G. With Diddy's special oil.
That's sick.
How wild is that?
It's hella wild. I'm surprised these motherfuckers ain't behind bars from that.
That's the thing. Let's be clear. That's the thing. Everything that they did do,
Yeah.
it should have been criminalized. It's criminal.
Yeah.
And there is no statute of limitation. Non-disclosure agreement or not. Because after Tiffany started going after the mom, and then the next thing you know, Jason Lee started running down on the mom. And I'm about to go back and start collecting the receipts behind that because I want to see exactly what that whole situation turned out to be. Because the way it's looking
Yeah.
is that Jason Lee, who we all know was friends with Tiffany Haddish, went after the mother of the kids. They were coming after the mom. They were trying to sue the mom
Mm-hmm.
and shut the mom down. And then the next thing you know, everything got quiet. Then the case was being dismissed and there was a settlement and non-disclosure and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo and you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's some bullshit.
One way or another, they will get got. It really is. It really is some bullshit. But they're gonna get got one way or another.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
that's why
karma
people
is a
like me
bitch.
are around
Mhm.
because everything that they've done,
Yeah.
and it was all done without the law getting involved. The law should have been involved. There should have been an investigation.
100%. Mhm.
So, you know, but that's where we are. So I'm glad you stopped by. How have you been?
I'm hanging in there. Just focus on, you know, 34 summers. You know what I mean? So trying to get
Okay.
that going. Shout out to Wolfgang Amadeus.
Shout out to Wolfgang Amadeus. And I'm really curious to see how things are going to be going and what you're going to be doing. I know you and him are supposed to be linking up, so I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how all of that goes. But we here.
Yeah.
We here.
Mhm.
We here.
Yeah.
So, well, you want to tell everybody where to find you?
Well, I'm only on YouTube for now, but I do have a promotion page right now on Instagram called 34 Summers 86. If you guys wanted to follow that, Jack, I actually followed you on that page too.
Okay. Which
Yeah.
page?
34 Summers 86.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I'm not on my other pages. I'm not on my LaRon Pierce pages right now. Because
Okay.
just deactivate. I'm just waiting till 34 summers is complete and everything, how the rollout's gonna be and everything. So
Well, take it one step at a time.
yes,
One
ma'am.
step at a time. I tell you, you know, I started writing again last year, and then the trial came, a lot of things happened, and now I'm stepping back into, my writing, put my writing hat and put the pen in my hand, and
Mhm.
it's just who you are.
Yeah.
There is no wrong time.
Nah, not at
There
all.
there there's no wrong time. Whenever it happens, that's when it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
And I remind myself of that all the time. It's been years since I put out a project, and
Mhm.
it's been years since I've released, and I just have to look and just be like, you know what? Whenever it happens, it's gonna happen exactly when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, we're gonna be here,
Mhm.
waiting to hear, waiting to listen.
Yes, ma'am.
So on that note, shout out to LP in the building. Shout out to
Yep.
Benny who came through. Salute to everybody who stopped by today. My name is Jaguar Wright. This is the Jaguar Wright Effect, and this was just, a candid chat. Just the after talk of what we've been discussing on our Sunday Patreons. Please, everybody, make sure you get over there. Know that if you're a member, the replays for the past two conversations are available. And yeah, we gonna be doing what we do here on the effect this week and every other week after that. So salute to ULP, peace to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
family, and we out.